Welcome back to Brotuned, guys. Today we're in the kitchen and we're cooking. Not food, but we're gonna mix up some of our optics here. We're gonna drop this scope down a little bit lower on this rifle, the CZ. We're getting lower rings. That way we're not using up all this cheek riser, and we eat better cheek welds, better shooting, better groups. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. Second of all, we're ditching the Arkin on the Bergara for the Discovery ED PRS Gen 2 4-20. So that'll be on there, and we're gonna lower this scope down with these rings. Can't show this on YouTube, so if you want, go over to my Patreon. It's the price of a coffee for a month subscription, and you can watch me do all the work there. But as far as YouTube goes, we'll just snap our fingers and get to the next step. So let's take a quick look at the rings we're going to use for this build here. So I picked the 70-75 rings. These are like their best top of line rings, and they include a dowel pinned locator, keep everything super straight flush, and all of their scope mounts are line bored for exact precision. So they're after they're all coated in that, they inner bore the inside of the rings to make them super precise radial and axially. And unlike some other cheaper rings here, as they're just anodized right through, so there could be a lot of fluctuation and clamping surface there. As far as these go, they're perfect. Like Precision Machinery bores these out. So that's a super good feature. The cantilever also features 2 dowel pins on each ring cap. That allows super precise alignment. So now what we're gonna do is we'll take the old Discovery rings off and we'll switch in these new lower ones. So we'll try to get that height over bore down to a more reasonable height. And we can lower this cheek riser as well, just to get a better cheek weld and makes shooting a lot easier. Another super cool feature on these rings, it tells you the torque value for all the caps, and it gives you a good sequence. So you know how much to torque the caps down, gives you the bore diameter, the height of the ring, and how many inch-pounds tighten everything down in. That's a good feature. That comes on the other rings as well. But these 70-75 look really nice. So here you can see the dowel pins that locate right in here, and the precision ground caps and bases. That's super nice. So next step is get our scope in the rings. And we start torquing according to the pattern. We'll just snug everything up first. Let's have a quick look at what comes in the box of the 4-20 ED PRS Gen 2. We've got our instruction booklet, our specs card, quality control and inspection checklist, the assembly procedure, and a cleaning cloth, as well as lens cleaning brush. It's good to have. Keep that in your kit for sure. There's a dust brush on the back. That's good to keep along. You've got a sunshade, looks to be about a 3-inch. We have a scope cap tool that fits perfectly in that little slot, so you don't have to use a quarter. Allen key to zero your turrets and set the zero stop. We have the optic itself and throw lever. I like running these. Power ring is a little stiff usually. It was on my 5-25. So that's the first thing I usually do is screw that in. So very comparable looking to the 5-25, just a lot shorter. Very smooth power ring. Let's see the diopter adjustment. Very, very smooth. Our parallax adjustment goes down to 20 yards. So that's excellent for a 22, and all the way up to infinity. it's marked, and usually these are pretty close. So we're usually shooting around 50 yards, but you can go down to 20. So if you want to use this on an air rifle or something, zero it a little bit closer. Illumination, you got to put a 3032 battery in there, and let's hear the clicks. Super tactile and audible, just like the ED PRS 5-25 that I love so much. Windage, exactly the same, and the big monster turrets. Love these. So we'll mount this onto my Bergara since we took the Arken off, and then we'll get to zeroing it. So unfortunately, I have to use these cheap rings here. As you can see, they're not line bored like the Discovery rings are. And you can see there's pressure points here, the odd spot. So not ideal, but what I did wrong was I wanted to use this cantilever base. It's a little bit too high. So what I'll probably end up doing is using that on another scope, and I'll switch these rings out later. Maybe I'll order another pair up and switch them out, because my other set is a 30-inch ring that I'm going to use for my Vortex Viper PST. I'm going to probably switch that scope out too, because that Bushnell, I don't like the fat reticle, and the PST has a nice aim dot just like the Discovery PRS series and the Arken. Just the only problem is the Arken, when you go to full magnification, it gets super foggy, and that's not what I like. So I'll mount this scope on this rifle, and I can't show you on YouTube, and then we'll get back to shooting. So I have my target down range now, and I'm leveling it off of this line here, so I can set up the bubble level on the 4-20 on this line here, and we're gonna zero both rifles, or both optics, well, both rifles. So the Bergara and the CZ457, we're gonna use some SK rifle match. I'm gonna aim for this one for both, and then yeah, we'll just see where we end up, and then we'll zero it. That's what we're gonna do. We got a little bit too much wind to shoot a video today, so we're just gonna zero these rifles. Get a rough zero anyways. So the first step here, we're just gonna get this optic level, reticle level. So what I want to do is line up the reticle exactly with that vertical line on that silhouette. That's perfect there. Oh, pretty much got it bang on. Maybe a tiny bit off. Let's try moving it just a little tiny bit. Actually, I bet you if I tighten this side, it'll level it out. Yeah, okay. So this Discovery optic is totally level. Set that aside. Let's see how the old 457 lines up with that bubble. It shouldn't have moved because I didn't move anything. It is a little bit off. Okay. So I'm gonna have to move this one. This one's on the inside now for some reason. I didn't move anything, so it shouldn't have moved. But we'll get this bubble right to that far edge, like the other one. It's right on that line. That's where I like it. There we go. Double check, make sure everything's perfect. And there we go. The scope is leveled. All right, now I'll go start my downrange camera and we'll get to zeroing these rifles. So here we are, ready to go live fire with these. So look at the chronograph, ready to rock, and let's get her zeroed. So since the CZ457's already set up, we will shoot this one first. Now, let's aim at the top dot. Man, this thing is so clear compared to that old Arken. My God. Okay, top dot, here we go. You know what? Stand this bag up. I'm having to squeeze a lot to keep this thing on target. Now we're settled in, and it's a lot more comfortable now. Don't have to really hold anything. Okay, here we go. First shot. That's high and right. One more shot to verify. Pretty much same hole. It looks like it's about 1.3 high. Go 1.2. How far? 2. 0.8, 0.7, 0.8 right. Go left, 8 clicks. Okay. Now let's shoot for center again. Actually, we'll go for the bottom one now, because we should be on it for sure. Here we go. Whoa. Okay, so I would say that's a 0. This thing is solidly zeroed. Set it aside. And we have 10 shots here. I don't know if you can see that data. I will save it. So let's go back. End session. New session. Okay. Rifle. 600 to 1700 feet per second. Yes. Projectile weight 40 grains. We should be good to go. Now, lay this bag down. This guy should be all ready to rock as well. Okay, so we're gonna do the exact same thing, but I'll shoot the rest of the shots at that other sticky. So, first shot. Here we go. Where did that one hit? Super low. So maybe we'll do one more. Same hole. So that's 1, 2, 3.7 up. 3.7. Okay, now we should be on that sticky. And our windage looked pretty good, maybe 1 click. Oh. All right, here we go. Might be one click low. Let's try that. Ooh, that was full round. I'll have to grab that one after. Is that it? Okay, we have one shot left. Yeah, chronograph saying 9 shots. Put that last shot in there. Okay, there we have it. Both rifles are zeroed. I'm gonna slip it to Ritz now. Ooh, windage didn't have to move. So we'll grab our tool here that came in the box, so we don't have to use a quarter. I always keep a quarter around just in case, but this time we'll use the actual tool. So we're gonna spin this cap off. Just like that. And we'll go back down to 0. I guess we can set our 0 stop as well with the little Allen key that is also in the package. Loosen that off. Is there another one? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that should do it. That'll be our hard stop. Actually, I'll make it so we can go past 0 a little bit, just in case we need to go below 0. Set that up, and then we'll put our cap on the 0. I guess I should have left that raised up a tiny bit. It's bottoming out now. See if I can just lift it just a tiny bit. Just like that. This way I can go just a tiny bit below 0, and it'll still hit the stop and give me a hard stop. Okay. Get our cap zeroed. Twist that back on and use our little tool. There. You're 0.7 below on our 0 stop. This one is perfect. So now I'll do the CZ the exact same way. And that'll be it for today, guys. Hope you guys like this video on setting up optics on these rifles and zeroing. Hope you have a great day. I'll throw the chronograph date up now just to see. This is the new chronograph for the channel now, and we'll see how the data looks. only 10 shots each, but it is what it is. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you next week. Take care.